Yo, what up everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we're gonna learn the truth about mentorship, courses, pretty much the online gurus. What is the truth behind them? Does it really work? Or is all these people a scam? And just I want to talk about that subject because a lot of people tend to throw that word around and they don't really understand. And I wanted to speak on it because I used to have a negative thing about with the online guru before, I came actually like a mentor to other people. And now I understand why. And let me tell you my personal journey. I've spent at least over 170, around the 200 grand in mentorships, programs, book, seminars, masterminds, uh, whatever it may be. I spent a lot of money just learning from other people. One thing that happened to me that I noticed, I quickly or in a couple months became one of the top students in that program. When there was other people in that program that have been long in that program for way longer than me, and they never got the same results. Now, what is going on? Do you get me? It's the pro. Is the program the problem? You get me? And it could be, maybe the program it doesn't help everybody at that certain level that they are, which it could be the program. But now that I have my own mentoring program and my own scaling company that I help credit and funding companies scale. Now we're about to touch 100 companies that we work with, credit and funding. And I'm starting to see patterns, right? And what it is I'm like, I could kind of demonstrate it real quick. Let me pull something up. But let's say I have 3 clients. Let's call them Bob. So we got Bob over here. Then we got John. And then we got Sally. Actually, let me not put John because John is actually one of our most successful students. So let me put somebody that Earl. Right? So we got Bob, Earl, and Sally. Now, Bob, Earl, and Sally, they're both given the same information. Literally the exact information. Nothing is different about him. But for some reason, Bob is doing 100K months. Right? Earl is doing about 50K months. Actually, let's change this because I like Sally a little bit better. So Sally's doing about 50K months. And then Earl, unfortunately for you, Earl is maybe making 5K per month. Right? Now, what is going on here? Why is this such a huge difference between these people? Like, and then this is where, Bob says, you're the goat. They're like, bro, Javi, you're the goat. It goes into you've uh, changed my life. So beautiful story, beautiful sex story. Bob joined our program, X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z. Months later, we completely changed his life, and now he's doing 100K months, 300, 400, whatever the number is, right? Sally's the same. Sally says, she also loves us because she's doing, she's like, but instead of saying you're the goat, she's like, you're amazing, you know. And then you also change a lot because 50K a month. Actually, here I'm gonna put 30 to 50 because we have like a good 10 to 20% are doing, actually a good 10 maybe 13% are doing 100K months. Then like the majority of the group is doing 30 to 50, and then I have like a good 10% that's doing 10K to 20K ish. So you're doing amazing. You've changed my life, right? So that's what these people experiences from the exact same program. Well, actually, let me go to Earl. He's like, Javi can no, it will be more like Javi ads not working. right? Oh, this could get deep. Javi, link doesn't doesn't work. I mean, I'm not I'm gonna take my name out of it because it's not I'm not the only one doing the coaching, but it just let's say this person everything is just going wrong, and they're pretty much not relying on the self to fix it, right? It could be a bunch of little things. And I think what it is the level of entrepreneur, right? Because this if this ads are not working, what happened to maybe this too? They will probably figure it out, or try watch one of my videos, jump on I don't know. They'll figure something out, and then when nothing is working, then they're like, "Yo, Javi, what the hell is going on? This thing doesn't seem to work." But Earl, on the other hand, a million things are happening, and I could go on and on and on and on and on. I mean, this thing could get, like I'll be here all day, and pretty much not getting results. So why? Why, if this for some reason, if these three people they're getting the exact same information, how come they're doing, this two, right? How come these two are doing X amount of money, but Earl for some reason it's not doing so good. Earl it's doing pretty bad, right? And I think it just has to do with the level of entrepreneur. What level entrepreneurs and what skill and what level of tolerance to pressures do you have? Because I think one of the reasons why I grew my company, actually I could show you the numbers back in, I think I have the tracker actually in hand, back in 2022. You can see, because I put my data in here later on, and you can see how, boom, 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 boom. Look how it's going up. So in 4 months, I was already touching 100K months. So why did that happen to me? Why did I get like a bunch of mentorship, and just 4 months, boom, I took off? I think it's the level of entrepreneurship and the skills they had. Before I started my funding and credit company, I owned a huge rental company that I've owned over 72 cars, and well, at one point was 43 cars, and 70 and 11 Airbnb. In total, I owned like about 70 something cars, right? So I already had experience in business. It was not my first rodeo. It was not my first high pressure position. So I think that plays a huge role. And one of the reasons why I think Bob and Sally are getting more results than Earl, that sometimes Earl, this might be his first online business. This might be the first time he's making a sale. Might be the first time he ever seen an ads manager. This might be the first time he even hears the word ad. This might be the first time he sets an appointment. He makes a funnel. He looks at a CRM. He just found out what a CRM was. He's like, "What the hell is a CRM? Client relationship management? I don't know what this thing is." He doesn't know what Slack is. Like, Earl just found out that Slack is there. Earl just found out that ChatGPT exists. Earl just found out all these things. So I would say the main thing about this person is Earl. I'm just gonna say new business owners, and you could be okay. Let me not say necessarily new, because you can be, hey, I've been a business owner for 5 years, but I've always been at 5K a month. There's a certain level of mindset and personality if you're stuck at 5 to 10K a month. You get me? For me, my rental company, I was always averaging 50 to 70 depending on the months we were in. So I was used to making that type of money. There's different complexities of the business depending how big you are at, when you're scaling, right? So that is the truth about mentorship and all these programs, guys. It's not that like, well, once we cut the fab, all the bullshit out there, we know like 90% of the people out there just with the Instagram, they're selling some BS that they just learned. But okay, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the people that actually selling real stuff, that getting you guys results, that they have a bunch of results from other company. Other companies speak highly of them. They're getting result not for just one person, but like half of the goddamn group is getting results, right? They might not be the same revenue level, but at least people are getting results. They got the ROI on the investment, right? Those are the people I'm talking about, right? But what is the dramatically difference? Because we have some clients that are doing 500K months. To be honest, we have some clients that are actually doing 500K months. What's the difference between this person and this person? The one is doing 50 and the one is doing 5. And I'm telling you now that I actually have experience in this, not from myself and actually scaling to these numbers, but actually helping over 100 credit and funding companies that is honestly the entrepreneur. And I know this might be difficult for a lot of people to hear, because they could be like, oh no, of course it's not the mentor. Well, you guys are all scammers, blah 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 blah, whatever, and it's, of course it's on us. Now it's on us, and it is. And the reason why is because you're your biggest setback is yourself. You're the biggest like the reason why you're there where you're at is because the way you're thinking, the inputs that you put on last year. Every single movement and decision you made last year is what got you to here. So obviously you did something wrong, right? So you're operating on something that is getting you those results. So you need to remove certain frameworks from your mind, different philosophy, adapt new frameworks, new philosophies, which makes new decisions in your business and life, essentially, which then start showing 3 months later, 6 months later, a year later. We have clients who are actually doing 500K months, and they did it like in, I think, 9 or 10 months, which is absolutely incredible. But what makes this person this level of, look at this gap? It's almost, here we're 10xing, here we're 100xing, So is Bob 100x better entrepreneur than Sally, and will take 10x better than Sally? I will say, in a way, yes. Maybe they have more sales skills, maybe they have more marketing skills, maybe have more business experience at that level, maybe they have more management skills, which is one of my weaknesses. Like, I've never grown a company to 400K months, 500K months, trying to aim to $1 million per month. I've never been there. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm figuring out as I go. Yes, 10K, 50K, 100K months, like, that's like ABC for me, right? But at this certain level right now, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, to be honest. I'm figuring out as I go. If I knew what the hell I was doing, I'll probably be at $1 million per month, or whatever the ceiling of my marketplace allows me to be, right? But as in right now, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm figuring things out. But I do know that Bob, he probably doesn't know exactly what he's doing himself, even though he's doing 500K months, but he knows way more than Earl. Earl is completely in the woods, as I like to say, Earl, and it's okay. Everybody's at a different level. It just might take more time. What took Bob 8 months to do, it might take Earl 2 years. And again, when I started my funding and credit company, I already had skills. It was not my first businesses. I also ran a recording studio for a long time. I also was in the music industry for a very long time. Then I went into the car rental business, and I owned that business for a long time. You get me? Then I grew the credit and funding company to 300K months in like 9 to 10 months or so. And then, no, yeah, it was 4 months for 100K months. Then it took another 8 months or so. So I would say like 12 months to reach 300K months, which is ridiculous, right? And I think, and then from that experience, I was able to start this company, because now I have so much experience in sales, setting, marketing in the niche of credit and funding company, that it gave me the insight and the confidence to start this business and help other people, just because I have the data to show it. Like I have results. I know what works and what doesn't, just because I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on not only mentorships, on also on ads, just for the credit and funding company. So I have depth of knowledge in the industry, right? So that is the truth about mentorship, everyone. Like, and there's no other way I can say this. It's the reason why Bob is better than Sally is because Bob knows some nuances and some experience, and maybe some skills. I'm thinking more, like, I'm always leaning. I'm not thinking. I'm leaning more skills and experiences that Sally and Bob and Earl just don't have yet, right? So once you have those skills and you're able to reach these certain numbers, I think it's a lot easier. I grew different companies, to at least 100K months in 4 to 5 months. Like, I think this company was the fastest I reached 100K months. I think I did it like in 3 or 4 months, because I already knew exactly what I needed to do, right? Like, I didn't need to overthink it. I knew exactly what I was looking for. I knew exactly what ad I needed to do. I knew exactly what my cost was going to be. I already knew everything. You get me? It didn't take me long. What was taking me long to figure out was more on the creative side, on the ad copy side. Okay, what do I say? What is my hook? How do I start the copy, or whatever it may be? How do I do the body? All these little things. And then as you make a couple sales, you start moving, like, kind of like a puzzle. You start moving pieces around, because you start getting information feedback from the market. Then maybe your pricing is a bit, like, first I was closing people left and right, and then I'm like, oh my God, I gotta raise my prices, and then I gotta raise my prices. And if you're closing at a very, very high level, that means you gotta raise your prices. So that's another thing that people don't take in consideration, right? So again, this is the truth about that I personally am seeing about all these mentorships and programs to scale, that I'm telling you, it's not often. And I'm saying about remember the top percent, 20%, whatever the percentage of the actually honest entrepreneurs are there that actually helping different companies. Talking about that percentages, if you get into the program and didn't work for you, ask yourself, you ask, be vulnerable for a second and ask yourself, why didn't it work for me, or what did I do wrong? Like what did I do? What did I didn't do? Because one of the first questions I always tell everybody when they're campaign programs, oh, why this doesn't work for me? Always ask yourself, okay, what was I doing wrong? Are there other people in this program that are getting results? Yes? Okay, good. Let me go reach out to them. Hey, what did you do that I don't think I did? Because I'm doing something wrong because I'm not getting the same results. Right? And that's as simple as that. And I think if you feel discouraged that you're like an Earl, like somebody who's not getting a lot of results, it's just gonna take a little bit more time. You're not a seasoned entrepreneur. You're not, or maybe if you are a seasoned entrepreneur, you got to maybe into the online space and this whole thing is new to you, and you don't even know what a landing page is. And then it's okay. There's just a learning curve now. You got to bake in another 4 months into your success process because you don't know what the hell you're doing. You just found out a whole new language, and that's completely okay. But then again, you gotta be vulnerable and ask yourself, hey, am I a Bob, am I a Sally, or am I an Earl? Right? And if you're one of these, see how to move forward. I'm gonna put one of these greens. I'm gonna put Bob green because Bob is killing it. Right? So pick one of these, which ones you are, and if you are one of these, like again, this like I said, you got to be extremely vulnerable and honest with yourself, because sometimes the human brain always blames others before they blame yourself, and that's why I think we get like a lot of Sally in the entrepreneurs and not Sally, I'm talking about Earl. I'm sorry. We get a lot of the Earls because we get people who, by just buying into the mentorship, just buying into the mastermind, just buying into the program, they think that they succeeded, and that's not the case. It's not the case at all. That you're just getting started. If you get into a brand new mentorship, you're just now is when the work starts. Now is when you have to pretty much work the most you ever have, because the work just got started. And again, you got to cover all your bases, be extremely vulnerable, and be like, okay, I'm doing something wrong. What am I doing wrong that I'm not getting any results, right? And again, I hope that if you are in a mentoring program, they provide a lot of like one-on-ones and a lot of like help with the mentors, the coaches, or whatever it may be. So you can book a one-on-ones with them and talk to them, and be, hey, I might be doing something wrong. Can you please guide me through this? Because like I feel like I must be doing something wrong. You get me? Because I see other people getting results, and why are they getting results and I'm not getting results? Is there something that I'm missing? Can we please take an overview of everything that I'm doing? Because I must be doing something wrong, And again, it could be maybe your I don't know. It could be so many things, man. It could be sales, it could be marketing, it could be being comfortable in front of the camera, it could be so many things. It could be just the tech part, it could be like the media buying thing that it's confusing. Maybe it could be tracking your data. You're not a number person, and you look at numbers and you're like, oh my god, this sounds so depressing and I'm so overwhelmed. And that's okay, but you got to be vulnerable with these things, because it takes that level of person to get here. Bob is it's on top of everything. Bob is kind of like me. Me and Bob connect because we're both extremely self-aware. We're both extremely self accountable. We both are trying to reach a new level. We're both trying to figure things out. We're not trying to like, hey, if something doesn't work, I did something that's broken, let me fix it. How can I recalibrate and retry it again? I don't blame anybody else, because at the end of the day, and I know I said maybe 10-20% of the things out there actually work and everything else is bullshit, but I honestly think almost everything works. It just, you give it enough time to make it work. I think that's the main thing that people don't give, is the time to give it to work, and they give up too easily. Because if you we could get on another topic here, because you can pick an industry and you're like, oh, like what industry I start. You can pick an industry and start, and it will work out. It just, you got to see what is the actual ROI on that industry. That's like which boat are you. It's not about the boat that you're in. It's not how hard you row, but which boat you're in. The bigger the boat, the bigger the vessel, the more money you're gonna, the bigger opportunity, right? But that's a whole other conversation for a whole other day. So yeah, guys, if you're ever thinking about this, all these gurus, all these things, is this whole thing true? Is it really me? Is it them? It's all a personality issue, because in my experience, what I'm seeing, guys, and then again, like this is the first time that I coach pretty much 100 or well, we get into the 100, where I think it's now like 96. We're about to teach 100 in credit funding companies how to scale. But the truth about mentorships is the nuances in different people's personality, right? And some people are different, and we just gotta accept that, and not blame the system and just blame the person. You know, like, hey, I'm, and which is okay. My wife doesn't like looking at data, looking at tracking. So if I tell her to look at tracking data all day, she's like, "That's not my thing." So it's okay, but we gotta be vulnerable and then either outsource, hire, delegate, and figure something out to get to the Bob level or to the Sadie level and not be an Earl. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope you got some value and some mindset shift about mentorship courses, because I'm telling you, I already spent, it's probably like it's gonna get to the 200,000 by the end of the year or by next year. And I feel like every program I joined, I got value out of it. I got my ROI in it. And if you're not getting ROI in the programs that you're getting into, you're making the wrong decisions between who you're picking to be your mentor. Because I always got an ROI in my programs. I don't know, it's because I selected the right people, or I don't know, it's because, like what I'm saying, I'm more of a Bob mentality that I don't care. You can give me fucking shit and I'll polish it to gold. You know, I'll polish it to, or you can give me ice and I'll sell it to an Eskimo. Maybe it's more about the, you know, tenacity of the individual. And that's why I say it's the nuance of the personalities that help you scale sometimes. And that's why sometimes I feel like most of my mentees, I'm like the therapist, like their business therapist in a way, because I'm always helping them peel down the onion on like what makes sense. Because I feel like business is very common sense in a way. It's maybe numbers. We just get very emotional attached to it, because our business is almost like our child. And especially if we invest into a new program, we're like, yo, like, you know, this is my last little money I have left. Like, and you're so into the emotions, in which is completely fine. You're human. I'm not saying there's no problem with that. I'm just saying that comes with then business problems, because business is extremely logical and not emotional based. Like, there is some gut feeling into it, some emotional into it, that like, hey, I feel like this person is lying to me, or in a sense. So I always go based on my gut, based on the relationship that I have. But when it comes to like tracking and scaling, all of that, it's more numbers based. Okay. So again, I hope you got a value out of this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.